So, it's Monday, April 18th, and tomorrow is Chizuru's birthday. And today is Chizuru's birthday in Japan time. Now, I know I didn't upload chapter 231's reaction, and that's because I spent most of the time writing even though I recorded it, so I'm just gonna put it with this one. So I'll just have both reactions for 232 and 231 right here, as, you know, I feel like it would be unbefitting to not have a reaction to the end of Paradise, all things considered. So I'm probably gonna put that in there, and I'll probably share some of my thoughts here and there. Naturally, today my friend will not be joining us again because he's currently in the process of moving. So with that being said, hello, I am Fate. I talk about rent-a-girlfriend stuff. As I mentioned, it's Chizuru's birthday. We're in a Chizuru shirt. So today we are going to be reacting to chapter 232, and I'm gonna give my first impressions and thoughts on some of the stuff that's going on within this chapter. With that being said, let's mosey. Nope, don't fall for it. It's bait. It's bait. I can't. It's too risky no matter how I look at it. A wild, stiff dude with porn on the brain appeared. Well, we do have a lot of internal monologue this time around, it seems. You know, I should have called this. I should have called the internal monologue. Shame on me. Shame on me. It was our only option. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm sensing controversy. Oh, I'm sensing controversy. So she considers that a kiss. Oh. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Subtlety. Subtlety. I like it. All this just to not burn bridges. Self-loathing and death from embarrassment.
That's rough, buddy.
But now there's the lie that us being in a relationship is not a lie. What Mizuhara is thinking is still a mystery. That kiss meant something. Is it wrong for me to think that?
No.
That was a kiss! She kissed you!
Ooh, boy's getting his confidence back. Oh, she's doing fucking laps, dude. She's doing fucking laps. Oh, she is. Oh, wow. She is like losing it. This is good. A moment when love takes root. Do you know about it? It's when talking about the person fills you with laughter and joy. Come on, it's nothing like that. Didn't I tell you? Because I can't. I shouldn't fall in love with a client.
Can I ask you, do you guys always serve bullshit here, or is that just her?
Oh shit! She fucking finally admitted it! Yo, this is literally her admitting it! This is literally what it is! Where's you sly fucking fox? You sly fox! Oh wow, the visuals. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. Ooh, wow, this is gorgeous. So Chizuru's a stubborn idiot. Chizuru is a very stubborn idiot, but that's why we love her.
Round 2.
Whoa, 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 I'm getting spoiled. I hate every second of it. Okay, close yet distant, distant yet close. Where will this swing smell of love break? Chapter 232, The Girlfriend and the Kiss. Part 1. Miyajima Reiji. Oh, the new arc is about the kiss. Interesting. Interesting. I really like this new panel. This new panel cover, or this new cover just in general, looks really cool. It feels very dynamic in comparison to before. I can tell Reiji's kind of trying to change it up a bit, and this is kind of like a signal to us as the audience too. That's really cool. Oh, the city. Oh, the house. I love that he pans to it. It's been so long since we've seen the apartment complex. Damn. Back already. We didn't even get to see them leave. Yep. I feel ya, buddy. Oof. I feel ya, buddy. Wait. Oh, he's looking at this pillow and he's imagining Chizuru. Okay, I was like, what did he get that? Ah, this is bad. I've been back to Tokyo for 2 whole days now. Awake or sleep, I can't get that kiss out of my head at all. Is this a curse or a baptism? Ugh, so ever since then, the whole world is a shade of pink. Has my head gone off the rails? It's not like that's the first time, is it? Oh, I did it. A kiss with Mizuhara. You could say the first time was just artificial respiration, the thing lifeguards do. But this time, it was a kiss! A kiss in the form of an actual kiss! A kiss you can't call anything but a kiss. A real, authentic one. Ah, not again. I keep ruminating on that kiss, so now I've got no appetite, and I can't even get my homework done. Is this gonna be my whole life from now on? Oh, my brain's drive is gonna get written over. Wait, calm down. In a way, I'm bothering her too. Don't go tripping out again. Let's calm down and assess the situation. I've got something to say to you. Sorry. So Mizuhara realized I was going to confess. And on top of that, a kiss. She saved me with that. So maybe she's actually fine with it. Actually, fine with it. A petty criminal's eyes. I love these gags. No matter how much people tell me that these gags are padding and they're drawing the story out, in a way it gives us an insight into Kazuya's mentality and how he sorts his thoughts out. So while other stories don't do that, I love that this particular story does that because it allows me to appreciate Kazuya's more, feel a little bit more connected with him, and feel a bit more in depth. I appreciate it throughout Paradise, and I appreciate it now. I can understand why subjectively, like, some people would not like this and feel it's padding. Personally, for me, I enjoy it. No, wait. Did she really catch on? There was also some things that suggested she didn't. In that case, with the stuff she said later being the truth, that would be her simply saving me out of the goodness of her heart and out of kindness.
What's going on?
Oh my god. Who the hell do you keep waiting every single time, huh? But she said that, didn't she? That I'm trying to say something? Can it be anything other than a confession? Is there something else, something important a guy would say to a girl that I don't know of? Is that a thing?
Checked the internet lately?
Right, it can't be anything except a confession, right? Oh man, Mizuhara is a total mystery. If only I had a secret tool which could read people's hearts. Speaking of which, after splitting up with the others at Yuno Station... Alright, there's somewhere I need to go. I'm gonna take a different route. Later. Oh, okay. So you have chosen death. Yo, Ruka! Congratulations, if there's something you've done, Ruka, it's made the fucking fandom hate you more. God damn, this girl's a piece of fucking work. Oh yeah, I am like 90% sure, like the thing with the room from last chapter, 100% sure it was Ruka.
That's a fact.
Anyways, back to me being mad at Ruka. And you know, just, man, that's so fucking rude. Hey, that hurt. You should taste at least 1% of the pain you put me through. Now please, get out of our sight. Listen up, I'm gonna let this incident slide out of compassion. I'll consider it a necessary evil to save Kazuya, to save my boyfriend.
Bullshit.
But you should also reconsider your own position as a rental girlfriend. You aren't supposed to go on the same train, Chizuru-san. I'm sorry. I really need to go. Okay, I'll hold my thoughts off on Chizuru for now, but let's continue. Although Ruka-chan gave that exaggerated warning, it seems like Mizuhara was her usual self. If anything, she seemed a bit cold. Seriously, how can someone be so calm under such circumstances? Women are like an ocean. Is her mind made of steel or something? And no matter how many fronts she puts on, one would actually be crazy to say things are gonna stay the same from now on. But everything's fucked now. Nothing's logical anymore. What are you thinking, Mizuhara? Did you really kiss me just to protect me? It meant nothing more than that? I want to see her. I want to look upon her face. I want to hear her voice. I can't bear it any longer.
That's rough, buddy.
Yoga free trial. Oh no. It's fine. Worst case, I'm just here to give her this mail. If things go all right, then I can even try to mix in some small talk. Something like, can we talk for a bit? Oh, whatever. Huh? No answer. Not a peep. Mizuhara is out at this time of day? If the doorbell ringing is bothering her, she should come out and chew me out. I'm talking to a wall again. I see. She's not home. Oof. Clank. Huh? Busted! Busted! That's great. That's pretty good. A feeling of unease beyond the control of the flawless perfect girlfriend. Mizuhara carelessly gets herself into a pickle. Next time. It's been a while. Busted, busted, busted. That's pretty cute. I like that. I like that little interaction. Is fairly cute. Yeah, I have a few feelings about this chapter, and you know, I said I held off my thoughts on Chizuru and all. With Chizuru, one thing I kind of want to point out, and something I definitely want to tie directly into the end of last chapter, is that one thing you need to really look into Chizuru is that a key component of Paradise has been centered around grief, and the other key component has been centered around agency. And both of these are showcased here to full effect. You can see that also at the very end of last chapter. See, throughout Paradise, and even after like the confrontation with Mami, Chizuru has not had a single piece of support at all. Nobody has given her, nobody has told her you did a good job, nobody's told her you're doing the right thing, you're going on the right path, nobody's told her any of that. The only person she's ever had to talk with is herself and her metaphorical Grandma Sayuri. And nobody else understands her circumstances in Paradise. What Ruka did in this chapter is a perfect metaphorical sense for that she is essentially just being pushed away from the correct decision she needs to make. Now, imagine that with the depression that Chizuru is going through her grief. You might think to yourself, oh, she's over it, but no. And constantly, throughout Paradise, we're constantly shown images indicating to us that both Chizuru and Negami are going through serious depression and grief from their loss with Sayuri. And Chizuru naturally feels unworthy due to her failures. This is exactly what depression does to you, and it's supposed to exactly mirror chapter 1 to 49, with Kazuya and his grief and what he was going through with Mami as his world essentially shattered as he's slowly getting out of this rut and Chizuru helps him through it. So what's happening here is kind of the reverse of that, but I think the reason Paradise needed to end where it did is specifically because Chizuru does not have any kind of fucking support. She has not had anybody to communicate with, to talk with, and in the process, she's robbing herself of agency. Agency is pretty much your ability to act on your own will. This also is a theme of Paradise and is directly connected to both Mami, Chizuru, and even Ruka. And in that process, what those three do to Kazuya indirectly because of the conflict they have with agency. So basically this is kind of that interaction right here where Chizuru feels like she needs to shut Kazuya out because of her unworthiness, because of her unprofessionalism, because of maybe even Ruka, where she sees Ruka as essentially her younger self, the dreamer aspect of herself, who's clamoring for like agency and control, who wants this thing that she herself also wants, and she cannot bear to rip that away from Ruka, even though, like, we know better, we know it's ridiculous, and we know if anything, she's hurting Kazuya more. But that's the point. It's dramatic irony. Dramatic irony is when we know information that the characters do not, and therefore we understand the true consequences of their actions. So, in this sense, Chizuru is essentially hurting Kazuya because of this, and I think what's going to end up happening, and this is why I think we need to get at Paradise, is we need that support system for Chizuru. We need her to start opening up and connecting to people, because she's essentially at that threshold. She's at that threshold of grief where you start taking into the upward turn, where you start kind of like seeing hope in your life and start really fixing yourself. And I think this is the point of us getting out of Paradise. This is the point of all of this, where Chizuru is like, you see Kazuya like super hopeful, wanting to connect with her, wanting to communicate with her, and this is directly supposed to be a juxtaposed to Chizuru at the very end of this, where we're literally seeing Chizuru wanting to connect with Kazuya but willingly choosing to wall him out. She feels lost. She feels like cornered and stuck, and Ruka and Mami beating that into her is literally supposed to be contrasted by how Kuri talks to Kazuya, where every time we get a flashback of Kuri telling Kazuya that was a kiss, Chizuru gets a flashback of Ruka or Mommy telling her, oh, he's mine, or like you can't feel this way because you're unprofessional. Do you get what I'm saying? So literally everything we see with Kazuya is supposed to be exactly mirrored on Chizuru's end, but in the opposite direction. This is why I think Minnie is so important to this, because Minnie is gonna probably find out Kazuya's probably gonna still be somewhat stuck or something along those lines, and she's gonna communicate to both of them, and she's gonna kind of get them back on the road. Then I could definitely see Sumi getting involved later. We also got to see this particular panel where Reiji posted recently. So I think after this panel, so this is the panel we just got. This is the panel that was foreshadowed about roughly a month ago or so. And next week, we're probably going to be getting this panel that was also foreshadowed. So as you can see, Chizuru is still clearly in a rut, and she's still clearly finding herself stuck. But as Kazuya points out in this chapter, things are not the same anymore, and things are drastically different due to Chizuru's actions. However, it seems like it's the same on surface level. However, every action Chizuru takes from now on will impact everybody around them even more so. That's kind of the point, where it's like it looks like they're back to the same exact position they were at before, but they're really not, because every action either or takes can flip everything on its head immediately. Their emotions are being shown to us as characters, and I think this is the point Reiji's trying to make for us as the audience, that because the characters are in this new position where they're essentially very vulnerable towards each other and towards everything the other says, everything can change almost instantly. But once they weather through the storm, once they get through it, will essentially reach that big confession moment. So if you feel like Paradise hasn't really delivered on a lot of the things that it said, trust me, it really did. Like, in fact, it delivered on more than it promised. It changed pretty much the dynamic for every single character involved. Every character that was present in Paradise, the dynamic with them is completely different now. I like how Reiji is kind of addressing this, where he's really showing the reality of this. He's showing like how we can really struggle, how we can like isolate ourselves, how we don't communicate, how we make rational decisions and shit like that. And that, to me, is just really what this is kind of capturing to me, is like Chizuru needing to reclaim her agency, and Kazuya finding some level of self-acceptance despite all of this, and maybe standing up to Ruka, as again, you kind of see a lot of the dynamics returning, but nothing quite feels the same. And I think this is exactly where we're going from now on, where like Kazuya didn't shut Ruka up. Like Kazuya didn't tell her, no, this is not how I feel. Like, much of the dynamic stays the same. So I think a serious change for all the characters involved is coming. That's literally what it feels like it's foreshadowing, because the more of what we know and understand about the series of the status quo comes back, the more uncomfortable and annoyed everybody involved seems to feel, as Chizuru like seems to be bothered by the whole Ruka thing, because she cannot keep it in. She cannot show this to Kazuya, because if she shows it, her real emotions and feelings come out. We see this in how Chizuru acts at the very end of this chapter, where sitting alone, dissonant, clearly regretting this choice, not really wanting to do this, and then as Kazuya knocks, she breaks into a fucking blush, because she's lying and she cannot keep it in. And so that's pretty much what this is indicating to us, is like these characters are at a breaking point. They cannot keep going like this, otherwise they will keep hurting each other. And so naturally this is the turning point that needs to essentially happen, is like they need to stop hurting each other and start communicating. But in order to do that, they need to communicate with other people. Other people need to show them the perspective they are currently lacking, because you cannot find all the answers on your own. That has actually been, in fact, one of the themes of Paradise, is that family togetherness, that even if your family isn't perfect, it's necessary, it's needed in your life. And I think this is kind of where we're going now. Like, this chapter probably fell short. It feels like nothing much happened, but I personally feel it was good. It set the tone, it set the tension, it kind of reestablished what the characters were feeling. It showed us the dynamics that are currently at play, and it showed us what Kazuya is feeling in all of this, where he literally cannot keep it in, just like Chizuru cannot keep it in. He starts overthinking, he starts analyzing. I like that we got to see Kazuya really processing his emotions and his feelings in all of this, really showing us what he's kind of going through, what he's trying to think about in this whole time. My personal pet theory is that by July, which is actually the anniversary of the series, by July and around the time when the anime actually comes out is when we will get the actual confession and the pair getting together. It's not only visually perfect, it gives Reiji ample time to build on the little connections that these characters have and the communications they will have with other characters. So I think it would only be perfect for them to get together around the anniversary of the series. So probably within 10, maybe 11 more chapters, maybe 12. I think it's July 15th. I gotta double check. Yeah, so it's July 12th. It's gonna be the 5th anniversary, and essentially, again, we've kind of reached a middle point within the series, so thematically, it would just be kind of perfect that we go into the 5th anniversary of the series with the pair being a couple. So I think that's pretty much the direction I'm sensing here, is that we're essentially at that home stretch. We're having those fun, cute moments in between, but you still feel that little bit of tension in the background. If you guys didn't know, the Sumi spinoff is going on a hiatus, so that seems an oddly perfect time, all things considered. So that goes on a hiatus. Sumi comes back in the main series. It makes only sense. Then we transition into like them communicating. We get into summer season. Summer season is around the time the anime releases, and then they get together around the release of the anime. To me, it makes a lot of sense. I could be completely wrong, but that's just my pet theory and where I think the story might end up going moving forward. But I do think like we are at that breaking point, and Reiji is showing this through the characters' emotions, through the characters' feelings, what they're going through. Chizuru is feeling exactly what Kazuya is feeling, and that this is a nice visual representation, a nice metaphor for their current relationship, where Chizuru is shutting Kazuya out, and because she's shutting him out, she's hurting him, but it's leaking through. And that's the point of this little thing that we see at the very end here, that it is in fact leaking through. She made a mistake. She sat next to the door because in reality, she wants to talk to him. This is kind of the visual representation I like here, is that Chizuru could have just stayed right the fuck away from the door. She could have been very far away, yet she is sitting right next to the door. That's a nice visual representation of her actual feelings, where she's literally sitting right there, and she could have just been far away, but because she's sitting right there, it leaks through, it comes out, and it shows. And because it shows, Kazuya notices. And now Chizuru finds herself in a pickle. But really, it's a perfect setup chapter for what's to come next. It's nice, it's lighthearted, but it also has that sense of overlooming, gloomy foreshadowing that's just kind of sitting right there looking you in the face, and you don't know what to make of it. I like how he realized that she was going to confess, yet pushed him away, then kissed him after, and it made no fucking sense. I like how when he says the kiss, he just like cracks a beautiful smile, like, ah. And then he goes back to like super serious a second later. I love the more relaxed visuals on Kazuya's face. They seem a lot more toned down, a lot more like cheery and nice. Like look at it. It's very cute in comparison to before, where there was a great deal of stress. The line work was really intense and harsh. Now it feels like the line work is more bubbly and cute. And you know, it shows throughout the many interactions. I love the return of Mr. Fish! Mr. Fish made his fucking return! Finally! It's been so long, I've missed Mr. Fish, seriously. That could also be a signal. They're like, yo, we got Mr. Fish back. Yamori's almost there, buddy. She's almost home. We almost got her back. This is why I think Ruka's important here. Is like, as much as I'm annoyed by fucking Ruka, as much as I'm like fucking livid and annoyed by Ruka's character and how I feel like she's just really dragging this on, what I like that she does is she presents this constant problem that's never going to go the fuck away. And that is really important for Chizuru's character, because your problem is never going to go away. That's just how it works. What needs to happen is you need to slowly accept that this problem is not going away, but you can deal with it. You can slowly work to overcome it with the people around you, with yourself, whether it be self-acceptance, self-worth, and all these things that are going on inside you. And so while Ruka is annoying as fuck, and I want her to go the fuck away, I like that she isn't, because it's something that Chizuru and Kazuya need to overcome together. This is a problem they created, this is a problem they need to overcome. In Chizuru's case, this is something she needs to accept that she needs to do if she really wants these connections and these things in her life. As if you noticed, it's in this entire sequence, outside of Ruka, it's just been Kazuya and Chizuru in these sequences alone, nobody around them, just them alone in their feelings and really processing. I love the utilization of the backgrounds of the scenery. Everything feels foreign right now. Like, did you guys notice that too? Like, this entire chapter felt very foreign and like not really easily connectable for some reason, because of how it's being presented, because you've gotten so used to Paradise that this area where we're back now feels extremely foreign, alien, like you don't really connect with it anymore. I like the way Reiji is presenting that. Like this, the way he's utilizing the backgrounds, the way he's utilizing the characters, and the way it's being presented, where you have this feeling of uncertainty that's just kind of looming over your head. Everything feels alien, and I like that specific line that Kazuya says here, but everything's fucked now. Nothing is logical anymore. Because that's literally it. It isn't logical. It doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel comfortable. We're at that breaking point. Now, it's like you gotta think to yourself, what's Kazi gonna react like? That means she was there the whole time? Is she not responding because reasons? So I could definitely see Kazuya like reaching out, be like, hey, what's up? Maybe she doesn't communicate. Maybe she never even opens the door. And maybe when it says it's been a while, it could very well just be Minnie. It could just literally be Minnie coming back either at the end of the chapter or a little bit later after some, issues happen and they don't communicate with each other. So yeah, that's everything I've kind of had to say for this chapter. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed my, my impressions and my commentary and everything I've had to say in terms of this chapter. You liked the video. If you did, please share it, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to keep up with the uploads. And of course, follow me on Twitter. I have a few things in the works here. I definitely want to talk more about Paradise. I've started to kind of write for it. I wrote something for the end of last chapter as well. So yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and remember, let's mosey.
What would Uncle do? Zuko, you have to look within yourself to save yourself from your other self. Only then will your true self reveal itself.